Hello, I'm Arman Khodaei, and today's video I'm actually going to do a video response to SIFT ES 2009, I believe, is the username. This video, autism is autism a disability? And in his video, his conjecture is that autism is both a combination of ability and disability. Disability in the sense that, it impairs the communication and social abilities and ability to do things independently, etc. However, though, an ability in that things that are harder to people that are quote-unquote neurotypical or normal, whatever terminology you wish to use, that some of those things, such as grasping difficult mathematical concepts or doing incredible pieces of art, thinking on the level of Einstein, etc. In that sense, that's an ability. So what I have to say to that actually is that not every person with autism is that way. Not every person with autism is going to have a super high IQ or be super intelligent. And his argument is that even people who are nonverbal can be that way. And I, working with people with autism as well. Well, for those that don't know, I have high function autism. And I also run a couple of groups, support groups and whatnot, and I also tutor people with autism. So I'm aware that they're definitely, for some, it's difficult. But what I want to say is that if you're definitely on the higher spectrum of autism, that autism is not a disability. It's a different way of thinking. It's just seeing the world in a different way. And I noticed that a lot of adults with autism, they tend to have a more innocent view. They don't care about all the pointless gossip and who blabber that really doesn't matter. But people who don't have autism tend to make a big deal about that. And, it's stupid, some of those things, that we make a deal about. Like the whole Tiger Woods thing, it's his personal life. Who cares? Get over it. It's not your life, but we want to make ourselves look high-minded, like, oh, I would never do such a thing. And, some people do such things, and yet they still try to gossip about it and talk about how bad of a person he was, or whatever. And people with autism, they don't give a whatever about it, they don't give a beep about it, because it's pointless and stupid. And, unless, of course, they're really into golf and really interested in the golf, then it might interest them, but not necessarily in it being a bad thing, but more about the implications it has to golf and that kind of a thing. And, and how it would shake up golf, using the Tiger Woods example. And so what I want to say, well, going off of Alex's video, he says that there are good parts about autism. That's very true. The ability to grasp certain concepts, but he also mentions that there's bad parts, like you might not be able to tie your shoe, which I have difficulties tying my shoes, so I can relate to that. And one thing that he says that is very interesting, and I think is very true, is that that hard things for normal people without autism, can be easy for people with autism, which is very true. And things that are hard for people with autism, such as communication, speech, making friends, etc., can be very hard for people with autism, but easy for people without autism. And so, in a way, certain things are reversed. And his opinion is, because everybody has different levels of hardships and difficulties, that in a way, it is not a disability. And I agree with that a little bit. As a matter of fact, I mean, if you're, with the exception of people that are very low function, people that have to be taken care of, have to be given a bath, have to be fed, and if you're a parent with that sort of child, I totally understand. And yeah, in that way, it's a challenge to deal with. And I would have to say that in that regard, it is a disability, but for them, it is a different way of thinking. Still, they don't see it the same way. They don't view themselves in as much darkness and horror. I mean, for you, it's even a greater trouble, because you have to struggle with this as a parent more so than the child, because you do everything for them, so it is more of a struggle for you as a parent. And so, going back to the whole aspect of the autism, not being a disability, just being a different type of normal in a way. What I want to say is that lately this has been on my mind, and a lot of people think that I tend to associate myself with autism, and I have over time began to see myself in these ways, the aspects of autism and stuff like that. But I've also been trying to overcome it, and one of the things that's been on my mind is that I just want to let this go and to not even really talk about autism anymore in a way. I want to just be Arman. I don't want to be put into a box known as autism or any other box and say this is who you are. And so I just want to live a life and not be identified by my autism. And so hopefully one of these days that will happen, and I do plan it happening, but I will continue to put out videos. And my next video is going to be about autism and employment, and I'll discuss how to get jobs if you have autism and what sort of services are out there. And just before we end, I just want to say this about autism. Tomorrow, a new decade begins, assuming that you're watching this video today when I record this video. So a new decade is beginning, and the last decade, a lot of incredible things have happened for autism. A lot of information has come out, and there's more organization and stuff. YouTube happened, which is leading to videos like this. Jenny McCarthy has really put out a lot of exposure for autism, even though I do think the vaccination thing's a little bit too much, but that's another topic. But we have really started to get the communication out there. And so what I want to say is let's put that decade behind, because that decade was about communication. But this decade, starting in 2010, it's going to be about making positive changes, about getting done what needs to be done, and creating a better society for people with autism. Now, in the last decade, we put the steps in to help create that. Now this decade, we're going to implement that. This is going to be the decade where there's no more difficulties of autism. I see that the answers that we need will come, and that there will be an united front, and that autism will be that the majority of the issues, employment, housing, social skills, help for people of adults, high school, middle school, whatever, that'll be taken care of. And that is what we're going to be working on, and that's what I see happening in this decade. So I'm very excited. Let's put this last decade behind us, and let's prepare for a new decade of incredible awesomeness where incredible achievements happen. So I thank you for watching this video, and I wish you a new happy decade. So happy decade to all of you, and have a wonderful 2010. All right, take care.